come out Aruba. Look at here she living by Nora. The way how she moving is like she have something selling. Like she have a fire all about, and that fire really had to out. But that girl though easy, into much she changed 5 man already. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want to do it wrong, we calling the name in para. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want to do it wrong, we calling the name in para. He take she from far and bring she near, treat her like a queen and a lady. But I cannot understand why the girl hand in the Rasta man. Like the Rasta really stupid. She have choppy blind or bazooly. If she was with one of me, you'd have sent she back in the goalie. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want to win wrong, we calling the name in para. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want to win wrong, we calling the name in para. Innocent to don't hear what people say. You say the Canadian from Gabi. He say Gabi too lying, that's why she don't want to be with him. She say Gabi scratching before he could give us something. But what I understand, innocent is the better working man. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want to win wrong, we calling the name in para. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want to win wrong, we calling the name in para. That young girl was selling the chicken. Look at her, she finger, she leaking. You don't hear what going on. Hey, they say she with a married man. Well, she man, they quite up in New York. He say boys are here in a old talk. Afraid to come back home. The married man put current and telephone. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want to do it wrong, we call it the name in para. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want to do it wrong, we call it the name in para. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want to do it wrong, we call it the name in para. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us.
So we want to say good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another class in session program. Yours truly, Royalty James. Definitely.
Now we get the news on the estate.
We are going to be
Man make a mistake.
having a wonderful evening. Today being Wednesday,
In dispute.
the 11th day of December.
The magistrate.
We want to jump straight into the conversation
When they watch out
because we're like about 6 minutes away behind.
the younger.
So we're going to take the music down very early and we're going to start our conversation, all right?
All of them want to win wrong, we call it the limit para.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say good afternoon to each and every one of you guys. I know for a fact that I am here for the past few days, and as I informed, I will be a little bit, behind schedule as opposed to the regular. Up until the 20th, I am at a program that is being held on the Esplanade, and so I want to ensure that I inform you guys that I'm there. And so I know we are accustomed with the 6 o'clock, but however, the 6:30, the 6:45 is what we're going to be working with for the next few days. Yes, I want to say thanks to each and every one of you guys that are already here. Welcome to the persons on my Facebook and YouTube page. It is definitely going to be a wonderful, wonderful session this evening. We want to get a little bit interactive because I want to go into the comment section. Yes, I want to go into the comment section today and basically give a brief synopsis as it relates to what we have been hearing and the direction that we're heading in. Yes, but at the same time, I want to continue to implore on each and every one of you guys to stay focused. Yes, one of our most tentative upcoming events will be happening this Sunday. That is the party's convention. And for those of us who were here yesterday, for those of you guys who were here yesterday, I did let you guys know that definitely my program is not going to be one of the programs that you would hear or you would be viewing in order to get any conversation surrounding the political leadership of the New National Party. What I want us to continue to focus on, what is much more important, is the fact that for 40 years, as a political organization, we have had an excellent political leader. We have had a successful political party. We have created history not just here in Grenada, but throughout the length and breadth of the Caribbean. There are Caribbean islands that today, when they want to make reference to leadership and victory in leadership, they use the New National Party's leadership as somebody saying I'm low. Yeah? I'm hoping that I'm hoping that you're hearing me better now, because my mic was down. I didn't want to be protruding my voice because, as you heard, from the time I came from New York, ladies and gentlemen, that's the longest I think I have ever had somewhat of flu symptoms, coughing and, nauseousness, being nauseated. But however, I am here. Yes, ever so often, I'm here with you guys to be able to speak with you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have strayed significantly, and today I want to bring to light one of the most important conversations that many of you guys have not been paying attention to. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of allegations surrounding mismanagement of funds, missing of fundings in a lot of entities here in Grenada. A lot. There is a lot of conversation that is surrounding fundings that should be disseminated in projects, in programs, that this present organization and administration is not focused on. And we, as persons on the other side, have caused many persons to stray from the conversation. Let me read one of it. It was alleged that almost $500,000 was unaccounted for from the funds of the Grenada Olympic Committee, and an audit was done and turned in, yet the public is left in the dark about what was discovered. Why, may I ask? George Worm might be the only journalist to take up the trail of things to bring the findings to the public. The AG is quiet even after a Facebook request to get findings, as well as a number of journalists. Why? Is there something being hidden from the public? And the person goes on to ask on a person within the media by referencing the name Callistra Faria, where are you? So when I mentioned to you guys since yesterday the things that are happening in Grenada that many of you guys are not paying attention to, but are being strayed by the conversation of convention, it was absolutely no joke. So $500,000 after an audit was done, ladies and gentlemen, is unaccounted for within an entity, allegedly, in that of the Grenada Olympic Committee. As is mentioned, the AG is quiet even after a Facebook request to get findings. So, ladies and gentlemen, imagine that over $500,000 within a statutory entity is unaccounted for in Grenada. And I mentioned a statutory body because I want you guys to understand here how easy it is to mark on a documentation that fundings have gone to a particular statutory entity and that monies have never gotten there. Now, I am not blaming the persons within the alleged committee, but we know there are persons within this political organization that is very good in documenting fabricated documents. Bounce check, false information, evading of taxation. So we know that they have a practice, or they have within the years embedded or embroidered within themselves the ability to know how to make documentation look false. So $500,000 within a particular entity after an audit, and you guys are being strayed about convention. There are persons on social media that have made it public, and mind you, all the big name persons, all the persons who are being big hefe within the media platform, they are aware, they know, because even within the conversation, you heard the individual called a particular journalist name. We know during the past administration reign how much she was on the back or on the neck of the political leader on allegations and what she would have heard. We know Miss Faria is one of the persons who always wanted to know. So that is one, $500,000 allegedly missing within the Olympic Committee. That's one. Within Lotto, the National Lotteries Authority, there are conversations and allegations of a similar nature. And I think it was discovered, not now, but it was discovered since one of a particular senator was dismissed from the cabinet. He was one of the persons who brought up the issue as it relates to the mismanagement and accounting for monies within the National Lotteries Authority. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is brought up again. Remember when I had one of the broadcasting that saying how the bread is being cut? So while you're busy about convention, and there are entities and statutory entities within the state where thousands of dollars are being unaccounted for. But all you're making NDC stray, all you about convention. So if statutory bodies are having issues on mismanagement of fundings, and you're understanding that this is a political organization that are gearing to make so many entities statutory bodies, understand where I'm going with my conversation and follow me. So there are statutory entities at this present time where fundings are unaccounted for and missing, allegedly. We have heard that a statutory entity or an entity that was made a statutory body from since last year. Only about a month or so ago, the Prime Minister made it public that even if that particular entity, which is quote-unquote NADMA, was made a statutory body, government was not giving any form of subvention to NADMA. So understand that. You make an entity a statutory body. You have not given any form of subvention to them. During the time you made them a statutory body, in which their specification is geared towards natural disasters and other things of the state, a hurricane passed. So the government is saying to Grenadians that even if you made NADMA a statutory body up until the hurricane and even the passage thereof, you have not given any form of subvention to that entity. My question is now, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen the work or the works that was being done by NADMA. The question is, what was government's role in financing NADMA if it was not giving to them a subvention for the last year or so? You see, when I come on my program, it is not to speak about convention. Let me say to many of you guys, if you decide or you want to come on a program to hear about convention, don't choose this one. Don't choose this one. This one ain't about convention. Because we, ladies and gentlemen, are being strayed. We are being strayed. And if we continue to do this, we are going to stay on the levels of being strayed. Let me read another findings. This one is from Sister Linda Strika. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell told the sitting of the Lower House of Parliament on Tuesday, the 26th of November 2024, that the excessive rainfall that affected the land during the first and second week of November caused more damage to the entire island than Hurricane Beryl and will cause millions to repair or replace. Ladies and gentlemen, understand that when individuals are attempting to cover up the corruption, the first thing they would look to do, if a man owe you and you're asking a man to pay you, one of his first defenses would be to come up with excuses why he don't want to pay you. So, remember, one of the things we were saying, that the monies that was given in the CREF or received from CREF was monies that could have brought immense development to Carriacou and Petit Martinique. It was enough monies because Grenada's damage was minimal. So we were on the backs of this present administration to say, listen to me, you guys have enough monies to develop Carriacou, bring back Carriacou to at least 45% with the monies all you have. So now we get a little rainfall for 2 weeks, and the Prime Minister makes it public that now the damage that the rainfalls would have caused would have caused more damage than what happened in a natural disaster. Ladies and gentlemen, you need not to be any scientist or detective or anybody in any high position to know that is a blatant lie. That is a blatant lie. Because many of the works that have taken place after the foliage or the fall, foliage is not a word, my apologies, or the falling of those rain, when you look around, you would realize that they ask for persons to volunteer to clean up those places. Volunteer. The damages that was caused by the rainfall could have been cleaned in a few days. There was no shortage in terms of electricity and internet and water extensively. Many persons didn't have waters in excess of maybe 4 days as the most. What level of infrastructural damages did we have? How many buildings were shattered or fall that the Prime Minister could say to the Grenadian people that the rainfall that would have happened is more or excessing the damages caused by Hurricane Beryl, when we had an entire island, when your assessment said 90% of damage was caused. But on the 26th, the Prime Minister made it public to the Grenadian people that the excessive rainfall that affected the island during the first and second week of November caused more damage to the entire island. You know why he said that? Because they're now trying to cover up the fact that they have mismanaged the CREF money. So now they go say, we're using it to develop, or it comes and it would help us now to develop after the rainfall. And no people stupid here. You ask for people to volunteer. You ask for people to volunteer. Your administration and your Minister of Implementation asked persons to volunteer. You went thereafter and thanked them. The River Road area was one of the areas that was significantly affected. And when we speak significantly, we're speaking just around the stadium area. You had slides in areas where it was cleared in one day. So if there were more damages, and you said it on the 26th, today being the 11th, what program has the government initiated to aid in the persons that was affected? You see, when these people talk, ladies and gentlemen, and I say to you guys are being strayed. When the Prime Minister could make a statement like this, the Grenadians sit down and they clap and they say, yeah, boy. Tell me one other place that was affected as River Road. And what level of monies that had to be pushed into that. How many fundings that you got for that? So when you come and you say that to the Grenadian people, you're lying to us. You are lying. You have a whole island. You had a whole island that was damaged. You have not significantly done anything within the area. Ever so often, between every 3-4 months, I'll decide to go and do something in Carriacou when I realize I'll just spend the money, but we're spending the money and we don't get Carriacou nothing yet. You know? Let me say, somebody is saying, am I the only one that heard the journalist tell the PM in the interview that she looked into the lotto thing and there was some credibility to what was accused? So where is the narrative on that? But remember, too, that when she mentioned that I believe was one where he answered the question. Yeah? Where he answered the question and he said that there are persons in the island that cannot speak about corruption, because she mentioned that she looked into it and there was some facts to it. And it was a form of corruption. Yeah? So, basically, when she said that, his response surrounded the answer about persons in the island that, can't speak about corruption and so on and so forth. Yeah? So I think that is the answer he gave her. Right? She's saying he was speaking about the damage in Grenada. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He said that the affected island during the 1st and 2nd of November caused more damage on the entire island. Grenada is not the entire island. When you use the word entire, Grenada is Grenada, Carriacou, Pidi Martinique. A man can tell me the entire island is being affected and I could only think Grenada. No. And when you speak the entire island than Hurricane Beryl, then you can never speak of Grenada, because Grenada was minimally affected by Hurricane Beryl. So the Prime Minister could never say to me, and even if you want to say Grenada, what are the affected areas? How many affected areas after the water passed and the slides came down and the roads was cleared? How many infrastructural damages we had? Now Wassa was in a position to make reconnections and so on within days, 4 days as the most. Grand Lake was never affected because there was very little places that was affected in terms of current. Internet and so on was up and running. You understand me? So even if you want to mention that he said it was only the affected areas in Grenada. Remember, after Hurricane Beryl, there were places in the north, St. Patrick's, parts of St. Andrews, one or two places in St. George's. So Hurricane Beryl did, at least on island, even if you want to say he said island, on island Hurricane Beryl did, let's say, just about a 55 to 65% damage on island. 55 minimally. So you're saying to me, the rainfall caused that amount of damage where? Where in Grenada? The most affected area was River Road. And one of the significance of the damages that happened there happened because the island's principals was having a meeting at the time there. So there was more vehicles that was parked there on any given day. So coincidentally, there were more vehicles in the car park on a regular day, because vehicles are regularly parked there. There was a meeting taking place, so there were persons there. So when we speak about River Road, which had just a minimal area, that is just around the stadium area alone that was affected, Steels, who is Steels, that has a car company there, was not affected in terms of it, so they had not to give nothing to Steel. The stadium, basically, after the water ceased, even weekend gone, we saw Wagiti having to have persons clear areas in the stadium. So, up to now, a government entity did not go to the stadium and make any form of cleaning or anything in it. So, I am asking, other than the River Road area, that the Prime Minister could say that there have been an excess, because of the excessive rainfall, it caused more damages than Hurricane Beryl. My question, ladies and gentlemen, is where? And I want to know the percentage, because I know Hurricane Beryl, on island here, we're looking at about a 45-55% damage. Very minimal, yes, we know. But you saying to a Grenadian people that the rainfall for 2 weeks caused more damage. Where? All because, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, we are asking for answers surrounding what has been done with the CREF money. Because you are not giving proper account for it, and then you come in and tell us. So you're telling us now you got to take a time to help in Grenada. Where? One day after, hours after, persons were operating. Every entity was operating 1 day after those rainfalls. Every entity. There was very little entity that was affected. It was business like usual in Grenada. So I'm wondering where was affected. Financial institutions was in operation. Utility companies was in operation. Persons was going to work. Public services, transport was working. Public servants was in operation. Private entities, hotels and other industries were never affected. So I am asking, where have that excessive spending that you're speaking about? When the area of Marlene was affected, Montmaurice, the Marlene Road was opened. Yes, the persons that was traversing to St. David's, even if there was a congestion of traffic, there was a flow. So where I'm asking, where was those areas affected that it caused an excessive spending and damage? Where? Where? That is my question. Where? So you understand where I'm coming from, ladies and gentlemen. You are speaking that a particular damage was done or damages was done. But when you do your own assessment, go on the ground. Ask yourself, the cleanup that took place in Grenada was voluntary requests by this administration. Persons was not paid to do what they did. Persons with chainsaws and other things were not paid. Government asked that it was going to do a voluntary service. And Grenadians being who they are, they went out. And now you're saying to our people that the excessive spending, what excessive spending? What has government, I would really like to see the bill that government has put in order to see, I want to see these damages. Wherever you are right now, from whatever constituency that you're viewing from, tell me the damages that was done in your area that was significant, that caused a standstill within the state. Because I know that was normally, the port was in operation, the airport was in operation, I can attest. Everything was business as usual. Carrick one Pity Martinic, still there are areas they can't traverse. So how could you say to me, persons were traveling to Satés days after Hurricane Beryl, and in those areas they were affected in terms of internet, water, current, and business was not as usual. So when you say to the Grenadian people that there was an excessive amount that I was accumulated through the rainfall, I'm asking where? But then again, when you fly so often, your head does get light. Yeah? So I believe that is what is going on with the Prime Minister. He's ever so often jet lagged. But let's go on to another conversation, because I said to you guys, I'll be bringing it from the time I wasn't here. Yeah? Let me read another one. Mr. Leo Cato, Speaker of the Lower House of Parliament, has announced that as of 2025, the Parliament of Grenada will introduce artificial intelligence, AI, for the use of members of the House. He did not say what type of AI would be introduced, but this promised that the members would receive training to use AI. there are several different types of AI, but the three main types of artificial narrow intelligence, also known as weak AI, which is the types of AI designed to perform specific tasks and lack general cognitive abilities. Understand what is going to happen here? Artificial general intelligence, also known as strong AI, that's another type of AI. This is an AI capable of understanding, learning, and ability and applying knowledge across various domains similar to human intelligence. And then there is super intelligence AI. This one is the hypothetical type of AI, surpasses human intelligence in all aspects, potentially capable of solving complex problems and making advancement beyond human comprehension. Sorry. Now let me say this. Dr. Mitchell, as he's referred to, is our old goon, is our old tortoise, as they would have called him. He's an old man. But this is an old man that have served within the state as Prime Minister and opposition leader in his old age, and have tentatively every time, through his intelligence, brought forward either a proper budget to the state or have opposed to a budget of the state. Now you have younger minds that should be sitting or thinking on their foot. Our state wants to introduce AI. And for those of us who might not understand what is AI, you see where the teachers, and we're old enough to say, show your work or show how you get the answer. Let me say to you, AI is a technological modern application that, ladies and gentlemen, could give you the answer to any and every question based on the one that you're using. So when a state decides to bring AI within the parliament, then let me say to you, we would reach to the stage where better we vote for a computer or a smartphone. Because if I am electing a parliamentary representative that is expected to bring my feelings and concern within the democratic institution that can express what is in me, and he or she is using AI to do that, then better I vote for the computer or my smartphone. So what could happen here, ladies and gentlemen? It means that our politicians would no more need to take the time off to research and understand and probe and go to and go through, but instead they can use AI to write a speech for them for the next budget or the parliament sitting coming up, because AI is that intelligent. All you need to type in is maybe the bill that is being presented, and AI could give you an entire speech on that. And for those of you who might have a little intelligence in AI, there are lots on Play Store. And go and just download it and type in how to raise a child. Hit enter, and AI would give you the entire findings. Go and say you have to write a eulogy for an upcoming funeral. AI would give you the entire speech. It's you to choose and change words. That is the level of intelligence that our political parliament is looking to introduce within the state. So after increasing salary, after raising their salary, instead of doing the people's work, they are now introducing more lazy entities within the state to simply sit on the rear end and do nothing but get paid. So when we saw Dr. Mitchell stood in different parliaments and he was intellectually inclined enough to present whatever he was saying without AI. But now, we can now elect politicians who can lie him all week. Because maybe if he had AI, our present Minister of Climate Resilience would not have stood and gave the false information that she gave as it relates to the passage of Hurricane Ivan and the time the CREF monies was being paid into the insurance by the past administration. So you understand? When we could have now been able, as an electorate, to look at an individual and say whether or not they are intelligent enough to sit and represent us. Individuals can now go and give the best speech in the House of Parliament without having done very little or no work for the presentation they will be making. So they can now present to us things that artificial intelligence would give to them and present it to us. So now when we could have been able to say, oh, Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Modest gave a nice speech. Now AI can do this for them. Understand that this, ladies and gentlemen, is the breeding of a lazy society. So when they say Dr. Mitchell and them was giving handouts, this is the lazy society. Look at the particular minister in the south of the island. When he said, you can't give a man fish every day, you are not teaching him to fish. Look at his Facebook post. Every week, he wants to hand something to somebody. Every day, he has a donation. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are going to be fooled by this administration, they ain't catching me. So when you introduce AI, it means that now your work is over. You could lie all night, fat all night, drunk. See the moral standards today. Again, I sat to watch the agricultural press briefing. We have a minister of government in every official setting throwing his tie over his shoulder. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I know what is moral conduct and I know what is immoral conduct. It is not painted in black and white that any minister should wear his tie on his neck. But if you walk into your job as a supervisor, or you walk into the bank and you see the teller who's a male throw his tie over his neck, what do you grasp from that individual? What would be your assessment? You go for a job and you realize the boss threw his tie over his shoulder. Ladies and gentlemen, understand that here in Grenada, we have been accepting some foolish behavior on the basis of supporting a political organization. Somebody saying in the comment section, the PM said it will cost zillions of dollars in damages. Oh my goodness. Somebody goes on to say those ministers really believe they were here to stay forever, not realizing that they will soon be out of government. Pretty soon. Times flies. The PM addressed the nation about deportation. And somebody's asking, did the Prime Minister... You see the deportation conversation, I leave it up to them and Donald Trump. Yeah? Because if we understand the leadership style of the incoming president of the United States, I don't know if our Prime Minister would continue with his jefe and believing he is it. But I could say to him that with the present elected president of the United States, you better learn to walk a very narrow road with this individual. Because for those of us who knows him well, he goes up against the bigger states and countries, and he won't give one rat's about the smaller ones. Believe you me when I say this. I am not saying to accept everything, but we must be cautious on understanding what is our international levels, what we can and can't do. Yes? The group is proving how important it is to reevaluate who we place in such high position in this country. Their behavior of arrogance will not allow them to learn. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Democratic Congress as a political organization, will never stray me. Never. And many of you guys, as I said, need to stop focusing on the highlighted convention. I have never seen a government so focused on a convention of an opposition party. Fully focused. Every one of them, when you go on the page right now, they are talking about the upcoming convention. What they fear, I don't know. What they want, I don't know. But I can say to you, if this is the NNP I know, and we vote whomever leader next general election, it should, must, and will be a victorious one. NDC have failed our people. NDC continues to fail our people. And you see those things I read today? How many of you guys are focusing on it? $500,000, $500,000 unaccounted for, allegedly. Suspended PS, no conversation. Budget conversation, minimal. And we laugh and grin and talk convention. As I say to you guys, it is important that we stay focused on the important things. Don't be strayed. Don't be strayed. Don't be strayed. Yeah? So, as I said, up until the 20th, our program will be pushed back because of another program that I do between 4 and 6 on the Esplanade. I don't come on my program and ask you guys to give me anything. So I really have to make ends meet. So I am employed. I have to do my job and then ensure that for my political organization, I come and give you the time. It is a privilege for me to do it every time I do it. When I can't, sometimes it bothers me because I'm funny that, persons are going to stop looking at the program. Yeah, sometimes when I can't, I just be like, but I am happy to every time come and see persons always viewing, always being a part of. I am grateful. I am humbled by your support, love, and encouragement. I am very much humbled. Yes? So, whenever we get a chance to converse, every evening when I finish, I would attempt to rush to the studio to ensure that I can give you a conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, we will not speak up until next Monday again. Until such time. Go on different sites and different pages. Persons, especially Linda Straker, Grenada Filter, they are talking issues. They're talking convention. Go on those different sites. See the things that are happening behind the curtains in Grenada. For those of us who have vehicles or might be traversing or observant, look at the condition of our many pastures and playing fields around the island. Look at what is happening. Look at the condition of the roads. Look at them. And we're going on a whole month since the passage of rainfall. Telling me the roads can't fix. Prime Minister said damage is excessive. You're telling me he can't fix the roads? Somebody saying, I don't know how the NDC minister is sleeping in the night knowing that they are not performing. Can someone tell me how they are doing that? Look at the condition of the Bathway Road. Look at Bathway. It was posted the last time I wasn't here when I saw it posted. There's a minister up there. During the election, I'm looking for those things that they cry down and they run down. When last you had the conversation of transformational agenda? When last you heard about it? Transformational agenda? You don't hear it. You won't hear it. Because now what has happened? The agenda have transformed. There's no more the transformational agenda because now the agenda has been transformed. The transformational agenda was, okay, we're here, we want to be in government, we're going to say things to get here. But now the agenda has changed and now they have transformed. So they have house, they have van, they have car, they have land, they have road, they have, because they have now changed or transformed the agenda. That is what they have changed, that they have transformed. The agenda. Transformation agenda is no more. The agenda have transformed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just about 18 minutes away from the Talking Point program with Brother Sheldon Scott. And so we wouldn't want to take up much of his time. And so it was a pleasure being with you guys this evening. Definitely we'll be back here again tomorrow to continue the conversation, the vibes, the whole fact of being here and conversing. Yeah? So have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening. It is not cutting the program short. We're close within an hour, which we normally do. And we'll be back here again tomorrow. Sorry, on Monday, next Monday. Please focus on Sister Jenny's program. As I said to you guys, go back and look at Sister Jenny's program from last Thursday. I took it in the other day, and it was very informative. Very, very informative. Yes? So, have yourself a good evening. Somebody said, teacher, did you plant the 100 nutmeg trees already? I'm telling you, there is so much, and I'm glad you guys are remembering them now. Yes, I'm glad that you guys are remembering them now. But as I said, we're going to continue our conversation ever so often that we come around, and we are going to end. Somebody saying the stadium car park is in a mess. Ladies and gentlemen, continue to bring the points across. That is our focus. That is our whole program push right now. Forget this convention conversation. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is just about 3 days away. Yeah? So, forget this convention talk. Let's remain supporters of the new National Party. Have yourself a good evening. God's blessings to each and every one of you. Stick and stay with us as we continue with the information. Brother Sheldon Scott is up next.
How we doing things?
Like this. Born and boy, I cannot understand why you want your sister a woman. That night you try rip she has run up and only she can't be. You can hear she run by she neighbor. One of them a to come and rescue her. When you could not get nothing, you burn the whole room where she sleeping. They planning to sue us. They planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. They planning to sue us. They planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. That shot girl really ungrateful. Bandy used to support her to school. He used to spend all the money just to make the shot girl feel happy. Now she turn she back on for Bandy. Look at here she living with Moyi. Bandy too stupid, he shouldn't let her throw the baby. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. Big red, but we must expose you to. We don't like the thing what you just do. Playing Hannah man, you could take everybody woman. Look, you take Lindell from country, and now you take another tree. But we don't like what you doing. We know only fears you making. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. That girl what come out Aruba, look at here she living by Nora. The way how she moving is like she have something selling, like she have a fire all about, and that fire really had to out. But that girl though easy, in 2 months she changed 5 man already. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. He take she from far and bring she near, treat her like a queen and a lady. But I cannot understand why the girl hand in the Rasta man. Like the Rasta really stupid, she have choppy blind or bazooty. If she was with one of me, you'd have sent she back in the goalie. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. Innocent to don't hear what people say, with the Canadian from Gabi. He say Gabi too lying, that's why she don't want to be with him. She say Gabi scratching, before he could leave us shooting. But what I understand, innocent is the better working man. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. They planning to sue us, they planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in parents. That young girl was selling the chicken, look at her, she finger she leaking. You don't hear what going on, hey they say she with a married man. Well she man they quite up in New York, he say boys are here in a old talk. Afraid to come back home, the married man put current and telephone. They planning to sue us, They planning to jail us. All of them want do it wrong, we call it enemy para. They planning to sue us. They planning to jail us. All of them want do it wrong, we call it enemy para. They planning to sue us. They planning to jail us. All of them want do it wrong, we call it enemy para. They planning to sue us. They planning to jail us.
That the watchman make a mistake. They jailing man for breadfruit, and now that thing end up in dispute. When they reach in front the magistrate say there is no case. When they watch on the paper, they summon the younger brother.
They planning to sue us. They planning to jail us.
All of them want doing wrong, we call it enemy para.
They planning to sue us. They planning to jail us.
All of them want doing wrong, we call it enemy para. Marcia, we didn't want to call you name, but you really making me fun and shame. You take everything and go, you even take all the blind in the window. Now I hear you renting Kenny house, you tell them the man to put you out. You say you know how to hold him panty water, you have him drinking.
They planning to sue us.
They planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we call it enemy para.
They planning to sue us.
They planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we call it enemy para. Brave one boy, you the real one, some woman. That night when you go by Pilton, I hear you go behind Judy, but they say you go to unruly. You go and sit down inside the house. You say nobody can put you out. When Randolph pull the 4 brass, I hear you run just like a jackass.
They planning to sue us.
They planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in para. They planning to sue us. They planning to jail us. All of them want doing wrong, we calling the name in para. That ugly girl in the center road, she really getting out of control. She say if we put her in para, she go into this week program. She say that she go into Sui if we ever only sing on she. I know why she getting harassed. She take her